Hey, everybody, welcome to Taco Tuesday. Tonight we are talking about recruiting, and I have an awesome recruiting panel for you of amazing recruiting pros. And I'm super excited to do this. We had so much positive feedback about the panel we did on partying a couple weeks ago that we thought it would be fun to do this again because you know what? People work their business in different ways and there's no right or wrong way. Well, there might be some wrong ways, but there's no one right way. And so it's always good to get different perspective. So here's how this is going to go down. um, I am going to just toss out some questions to our panel, and they're going to jump in and answer the questions that they want to answer, add their feedback, start a little conversation. And when they do the first one they answer, they're just going to do a quick intro. Hey, this is who I am. Um, so you know who they are if you don't know who they are. But I think you guys know everyone on here for the most part because you know who they are. So and then if you have questions in the chat as we go, drop them in the chat. I know we have other people who will jump in and answer them, but if there's questions you want me to ask them, then drop them in the chat. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start out simple. You're all on here. Let me turn off my phone that is buzzing and beeping at me. Okay. All right. You all are pros at recruiting. You all probably recruit in a little different way. But let's start with something really simple because I know we have people on here who don't have a team, who don't even know why you would want to build a team. So my first question is to you, why would you want to recruit? Why would you want to build a team? Does anyone want to answer that?
I'll go.
Go for it.
Hi, I'm Tanya. For anybody who's on here that does not know me, I'm sure most of you do. But so obviously, the main reason for recruiting is to expand your business. If we're only doing our PRV for ourselves, we're going to get exhausted with reaching out to the same customers unless we're constantly trying to find new customers. It's going to also give us in helping sponsoring and then helping our team members grow inadvertently helps our business grow.
Yep.
Which is, to me, it's help others and it's indirectly helping yourself. So
Absolutely. Anybody else want to touch that?
I'll jump in. So for me, when I first started, I had no desire to build a team. I didn't want to be responsible for anyone. But once I started getting people on the team and I started seeing not only my life changing with Sensei, but also theirs, it inspired me to want to help others change their lives as well. So like every time I join, I'm always looking for why is it a good fit for you? So recruiting for me is not about me. It's about the person that I'm talking to and who I think Sensei could bless.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else want to touch that?
I'll go into. Hi guys, I'm Vanessa. For those of you that don't know me, but the reason I think recruiting is important, and it's actually I was the same way as Noemi. I had no desire to have a team when I first started this. I was doing it for myself for fun, and I went to SFR in July, and that changed my entire perspective on my feelings towards recruiting. I saw the bond that so many of y'all had at SFR, and I saw how close everyone was and how supportive everyone was. And I said, I want that. And that's what drove me to start recruiting. And my goal when I left SFR was to get one new recruit each month. And I've met that goal so far. And I'm enjoying the ride. One of my teammates is actually in here. Her and I can bounce ideas back and forth together. So just having the community is what made recruiting important to me.
I love that. Anyone else, or you want to move to the next question? Okay, we'll move to the next question. All right, my next question to you would be this. Do you think you have to be a super seasoned leader to start building a team, or when do you think the right time is to start building a team?
I was a consultant for like 10 days and I got my first team member. And actually, I joined under Amy and I was like, Amy, what do I do? She was like, you tell her to join. That was 5.5 years ago. And literally after my first join, a month later, I had another team member join, and they were my first two, and they're still on my team. Um, it's never too early to grow a team.
Anyone
Never.
else feel otherwise on that?
No, I'm Tiffany. For those of you who don't know me, so I joined Scentsy literally with the intention of I was one of the ones that just wanted to buy my own product. That was my only intention. I never had any intention of doing parties, of getting a team, and that did work for me for several months. And then I saw a really good building of this might really work. This might, this there really might be some fruit to this. So as I did it, just building my business and my customer base for about the first year, I didn't have a team at all. It was just me. I didn't have anybody signed up underneath me, just me, but I was doing really well. And then for whatever reason, this summer, it's like my recruits have just started coming in, and sometimes I don't feel like I'm doing anything different, but then at other times I'm like, okay, well, maybe I did plant some seeds there, or I had a different conversation with this person, and it just worked. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason, but for me, it's going well now. So I'm going to take that, but
I love that. Anyone else want to touch that one? No?
Oh,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Amy.
I'm Amy. I've been with Scentsy 14 years this past August, and I'm like Tiffany, I really didn't want to grow my team, and all of a sudden it's just like bam, it was the season, it took off. Earned my first incentive in, I think it was 2012, and I can't remember how many I joined, but last month I joined 7. This month I've joined 3. I got 2 more that's supposed to be signing on by the end of the month. And I actually quit my job, full-time job of 24 years, last August, I believe it was. It was stressful. I was having health problems, and I was like, this has got to work for me now. So I've been trying, and I just had back surgery in July when SFR was going on. So I was laying on the couch, and I'm like, okay, I'm making my list of 100. Instead of 100 consultants, I'm going for 100 recruits. So I made my list, and so far like I said, I've recruited all those, and it's just by having decider parties, and it's worked for me.
Yeah. And when she says, I decided I would have to make this work or want to make this work, I was like, I'm pretty sure you're making it work. For sure. For sure. And I'm just going to add my 2 cents here. I feel like sometimes people say, like, what's the secret to recruiting? And there's no secret, I don't think. But sometimes when you start talking about more, there's this momentum that happens, and right. And then people start joining, the more people are joining, the more, and you're like, how is this happening? Well, it's contagious. Like the energy and the growth, it's all contagious. So, okay. So would you each tell me, we don't have to if you really don't want to, but where did your last couple new team members come from? Like, was it from a party? Were they a customer? Like, where did they come from?
Okay, so I'll speak on this one. So I have 3, I guess you could say, that I'm currently working with. One of them, she is a join from a party. She ordered, actually she ordered twice. And the second time, I was talking to her, and it was like, I love this stuff so much, I should just join. So then I was like, well then, and we had the conversation.
Well,
The
yes, you
second
should.
one, right? The second one, it was like almost like, well then let's get you going, girl. The second one, she, a girl that I knew for a long time, and she'd been struggling. She needed an extra income. So I just messaged her, or I asked her on her post, was like, have you ever thought of doing Scentsy? And she actually was like, yeah. And so, we started talking, and right now she's got she's got her launch party going. And then just the other day, I had a girl who was a consultant before, wanted to order the Maleficent warmer, hasn't been a consultant for a while. So I was like, why don't you just, reinstate for free, order your warmer, and then start back? And she was like, you know what, let's do it. So she's back now. So I have like 3 different ones going on right now, but all different.
Can I comment on that Maleficent warmer? There were 2 people at the Swirl SSD retreat that I hosted last weekend who had that same conversation. One of them was a reinstatement. The other 2 were, well, if you're going to buy this $100 warmer and you're already buying all these other things, why don't you just join? So it seems to be like that warmer, for whatever reason, kind of spawned that conversation. I thought that was interesting.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
She's
Okay,
bringing them in.
yeah. Who else?
I'll kind of piggyback off of what Noemi said. So I find that, and there have been seasons where I have not. I'm guilty of not doing this, but I feel for the most part, I do try to offer to every single customer. September was 6 years, and they're customers of mine from day one. One of them was a recruit who signed on with a joint special right after the week I got back from SFR. She's been telling me no, no, no for almost 6 years because she was happy being a customer. But I tell every single customer, like, you could get money back on this. Like, that is my approach to everybody on it, is you can get paid back on this. And sometimes they give in and sometimes they're like, no, 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 but keep asking. Like, it's been 6 years and she finally said yes after 6 years. So that's my approach. Sometimes it's like that, and sometimes it's random. I had 2 people who signed on, reached out at the end of July, and I offered them the what do we have, the $20 joint special in July? Yeah, right? Yeah. And I gave them the option of the smaller kit or August 1st for the larger kit, and 2 of them opted to wait till August 1st. And so those just came to me. But I think just by sharing or oversharing, and just letting all those customers know that you could be saving 20 to 25%. That's the kicker for mine that have joined in the past that I find.
Who else?
I'll go next. So I don't have as big of a team as some of the ladies here, but like I said, I've just recently got on board with growing my team. And the first person who started to help me grow my team is my teammate, Caitlin, who's actually here with me. And she was actually going to join with the join special in July, just like Tanya's person. And she actually decided to opt in for the full kit for her join because she felt she got a bit better value out of it. And she's been a longtime friend and longtime customer. We actually met because she was looking for someone who needed Scentsy, or who sold Scentsy, sorry. And I happened to be that person. And so that's how we met. I think it was 3 years ago now. And she's been a long-standing customer with me, and then eventually decided that this is what she wanted to do as well. And then my most recent recruit, actually, at work, we have a What's Good Wednesday, and we get to share something good that happened to us. Well, I had just gotten back from SFR, and I shared all of my photos of all the fun things we were doing and the confetti and all the great things. And one of my coworkers said, "That looks like so much fun. I want to do that too." And she said, "I think I might want to do what you do. Can you tell me more?" And so her and I started texting, and we built that rapport and relationship, and I answered all of the questions that she had, and by the end of that month she was my next teamie.
I love that. Love that. Who else?
I'll take next. So where like Tanya is very good about asking and getting people to join, I'm the polar opposite, because I for the longest time was like, I'm not asking anybody to join. I'm not asking anyone to order. I don't want to, I don't want to ask if you want to be on my team. I just wasn't that person. And if I'm being totally honest, the majority of my people that have joined my team have not been because I've asked. I've had people that will randomly just say, "Hey, I think I want to do this." And then I'll start having the conversation with them. Whereas now I'm thinking of, man, maybe I should have had these conversations a really long time ago, and I could have a huge team. And then even my most recent recruit, who's being a rock star right now, it's actually a lady that I work with. And she had a conversation with me. She said, "Hey, I think I want to join Scentsy because you'll benefit from that, right? Like it's going to help you out. Like if I join you." And she's been a customer for several years. She's not like a customer that'll buy a ton, but she's very consistent. Every so often, she buys things from me. And she was like, "I just want to do it to help you out." And when I tell you, she's hitting her 60 days on the 1st. She joined on August the 1st. So she's hitting her 60 days, October 1st. She hit certified. She hit shooting star. She's hit sensational start. And she's a rock star. She texted me yesterday. She's like, "Girl, I sold a Maleficent warmer." She's like, "I never would have dreamed I would have sold $100 Maleficent warmer." And she was so excited about it. So I'm excited for her because she's, rocking it and doing so great with it. But I now am trying to pivot because I am seeing how well people just reaching out to me to join is doing. And I'm like, I need to ask more people. I need to change the way I'm doing this so that I can continue to build. So again, sometimes there's just no rhyme or reason as to why people are joining your team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who else?
For me, it's been conversation. So I just had a girl message me and say she signed up. And so she actually works with me, and we were talking 2 days ago, I think. And I was like, guys, I'm going to Greece. And she was like, I want to go to Greece. I was like, so go with me. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, I'm earning this trip through Cincy. Like, I'm not playing any games, and you can earn it too. So I explained it to her, and she's actually a travel agent. So she's like, wow, if I can get us both on the boat, I can still book his ticket and I can get commission off the ticket. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Just come get on the boat with me. So she actually just signed up. But one of my other teamies, she reached out about harvest bars at the 1st of August. So we had Gordy Goodness, and I think at that time we could grab the harvest collection. And I actually said, if you're that excited about the harvest, you could get the new kit, you could join and get all of the new bars. And she was like, maybe we'll do that. And then she wanted to have dinner when we came back from retreat. So we sat down for dinner, we talked about all the things, and she was like, do you think that the September kit is going to be as good? And I was like, well, I don't know. I think we'll have a join special. I was like, but there's the chance that you won't get those 10 bars. So she signed up on the 31st. But I think just approaching the conversation and having conversation about your business, everybody's listening if you're talking about it.
I love that in the chat. Closed mouths don't get fed. I've never heard that before. So good. Amy, where have your last team members come from?
One of them was a fundraiser that I done. She had done sold like $2,000 worth. First, she turned in an order, was like 800. I said, well, you should join, and you can get commission, and you'll have your fundraiser money, and you'll get free and half price stuff. She's like, no, no, no. Next order she gave me was another $1,000, and I was like, come on, you need to join. Nope, I'm not going to do it. I just keep buying from you. I was like, okay. And then I took the order up there, and she handed me another $1,000 order. And that's when I messaged you, Karen. I was like, look, I've done told this lady everything. You're going to get commission. You're going to get free stuff. You're going to get half price rewards. You can order at any time. No, I don't want to join. And then finally she just said, okay, I'll do it. So she said, I want you to go to Greece. I was like, I want to go to Greece too. So she joined, and I went up and delivered the last order last week. And she's like, I want to start getting orders. So she's working on getting orders. First it was just to help me out, but now she's into it and she's trying to work her business. And y'all, I'm sorry if I'm raspy. I've just been sick this week. So
No, you sound fine. You sound fine. I love it. Yeah, seriously, after that many $1,000 orders, and I didn't even get your message before she had joined because I was like, okay, well, but yeah, that was fantastic and made so much sense, right? Next question I want to ask you guys, because I think we think that the average consultant thinks everyone joins for money because they want to make money. So I would be curious, and I know a lot of people do join because they want to make money, but I would be curious, why did you join? What did you want out of this?
I joined because Amy
And
was
there's nothing wrong if the answer is money. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I joined because Amy was taking my money.
Mm.
It didn't make any sense why Amy was taking my money every month. Like literally, just kept buying and buying. I was like, what is wrong with me? So, I joined, I think it was like $49 that month. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And I also joined because my family was like, you cannot add anything else to your plate. You're doing this, this, and this. And I was like, yeah, well, watch.
Mm.
But I joined so that I could get the discount and the commission on my orders because, like I said, Amy was taking all the dollars that I had. So for me, it wasn't about making money. It was about saving money. Yeah.
I love that. Anyone else? Yeah.
So for me, it wasn't, it was the discount, but it was because every time I had purchased, I was not one of those people that thought about going to get wax at Walmart. I just figured I got a Scentsy warmer, I need Scentsy wax, but I had no idea how to get it. So I would always like buy it from a party and then never hear from a consultant or anything like that. So I ended up putting the warmer back. Well, it was at one time when my children decided that they were going to be like enthralled with the candle that I lit. And as soon as I heard the, I was like, yep, no, I got to find something else because they're like pyrotechnics right now. Like, I'm not doing this. So I actually joined for the discount, but I really just joined because I was tired of running out of wax. So I just was like, I'm not going to run out of wax anymore. I have no reason to. And then, yeah, it turned into more.
Yeah.
So mine was pretty much no different than Natasha and Noemi. It was mainly, and I say this all the time when I share my post on my personal story, it was for Christmas money. I signed on September 1st after lengthy conversations with Amy Durnan, and we know that she can talk a lot. So because I was ordering from her, and I was like, she's like, Tanya, really? Like, you could the same thing that I do with my people, same exact conversation. I'm very frank with them. I'm very me. Like, really, like, why are you going to keep spending money with me when you can be? And so that's what I did. I said, if I can at least just make my money back to where I can use that money back to buy my own Scentsy, that's what I was going to do. And then for Christmas money, that's all I wanted. I never so it's funny because we're talking about recruiting, but like recruiting was the last thing in my mind. I really just wanted it for, like I said, piggybacking on Natasha and Noemi was what most of us probably do, and how I present it to my people when I'm trying to recruit is for the discount, hands down.
Anyone else?
I'll go. I was giving Noemi all my money. And some of you know, some of you don't. She's my cousin, actually. So we've been friends, Facebook friends forever. And I saw the fun that she was having and how into Scentsy she was. And again, I was buying my product from her and I loved it. And I would talk to random people about it and they're like, oh, wow, do you sell it? And I'd say no, but I know someone who does. And then I started thinking, even though I'm going to get this to get my discount and to get my product at a better price, there's actually people out there that are just as interested in it as me. So why not give it a try? And I actually signed up on one of the $25 signups in May of 2021. And I hit my sensational start and I hit level 1. And then I hit shooting star as well. And I've loved it since. And because I believe in the product so much, I knew it was something that was just going to come so naturally and easily for me to talk about. And that's why I joined.
Anyone else? Or do you guys want to move on?
I mean, I'll jump in real quick. So I was giving Alex all my money. I worked with Alex.
I see a trend here, people.
Yeah, but I didn't want to join. So he's like, look, you're already spending all this money every month. He's like, because he tells me all the 200 active, and all that kind of stuff. And I said, I'm not spending that much. He's like, you're spending more than that a month. He's like, so why don't you should really just join. And I'm like, Alex, I don't have time to do this. I was like, I'm like full-time plus. I was like, we already have a small business going through all this stuff. He's like, just join. I'm like, will it help you out? Having that conversation. He's like, yeah. So this is I joined the last day of November and I ended up with a sale. Like someone had logged on and bought something from the website, and he's like, how do you already have a sale? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't even know how any of this works. And so like we're just going through that whole process, and literally like I had no intention, like I didn't even want to join kind of thing. But like give it a try, and it's all uphill from there. It's been great. It's been amazing. So
love it. Amy, you want to touch that one or not?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I joined because I joined under Melissa Barger, and she was my neighbor. I just had bought my home, and she came and brought me some Scentsy, and my son just started college, and I was like, I really don't want him to work a full-time job. I was a single mom, just bought a house. I was like, I can do this. So I signed under her and started selling it just to help my son out. And then, like I said, all of a sudden, I started getting team members. It started growing. And as far as recruiting, I think it goes in seasons. Because some years I don't recruit, I've recruited 0. And then, all of a sudden it's like, bam, it's just like a season thing. It just goes around and around.
There's definitely seasons, but sometimes it is contagious too. And once you start that momentum, it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. I love that. So next question I want to ask you is, do most of the people, and everyone doesn't have to answer this one, just out of curiosity, do most people join with the $99 kit, a special, or are you flipping parties? Are you using the host exclusive kit, or a combination of all of them?
I'll
For
go
me-
really quick.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry. I'm sorry. I
It's
was going
okay.
to say majority of my people have joined with the $99 kit. I will tell you, I don't think I've ever flipped a party.
Mm.
So I have had people join with the $25 special that we had a couple years ago, but I think the majority, probably 75% of mine, have joined with the full kit.
Anyone have a different situation?
I kind of feel like it's all three for me.
Yeah.
It's really a mixture. In August, I flipped a party to one of my customers. Like, somebody bought an air purifier from her party. I was like, baby, she's gonna need a filter. Who's she gonna get a filter from? You. But then I had someone join with the $99 kit as well. But three of my people this year, from the beginning of the year, they have throughout the year as well, have joined with the I had kits to offer, and they had reached out about enjoying possibly the thought of being a consultant. So I reached out and said, I have a kit that I could offer you if you're serious about your business. I'd love to help you get started. So I kind of feel like for me, it's a mixture of the three.
Anyone else?
I'm gonna say with Natasha, whenever she first got a recruit, she's like, I'm not giving them my money. I'm not flipping it. I'm keeping my money.
Mm-hmm.
But I flip mine. I will flip mine because especially if they do a large party amount, I mean, that tells me that they're serious about their business. They're going to work it. So yeah, I'm losing them as a customer, but I'm gaining a new team member who in return is going to help bring in some income as well. So most of mine are flipping.
It's interesting too. I think I hear a lot people say, I don't want my customer to join because I lose income. And the person I joined under was really upset that I was going to join because she was going to lose income. She was going to lose money off of my purchase. And, the thing is, what she would have earned long term from me as a consultant under her is so much more than what she would have earned from my purchasing from her. And I think we have to remember that if they're buying from you, there's a limit to how much they're going to buy. And even if they host for you, they're going to introduce you to some of their team members or to some of their friends and family. But when they join, they're going to, it's their friends and family, and then the friends and family of those people. And the network and the opportunity when someone joins is so much bigger than just keeping them as a customer. So when people think, I'm gonna lose that commission, you might lose that commission from their sale, but the opportunity is so much bigger than that long term. So I always encourage people to say, let's not stress about that. Like, you can find other customers, and if they're passionate about this, you definitely want them to join. So, okay, let's move on to the next one. How do you start your new teamies off? Like, give one tip of something you do to help your team members get off to a good start. And it doesn't have to be anything elaborate. It could be as simple as I help them do a launch party right away, like whatever.
So, I'll take this one. It's yeah, for me, it depends. When I first was getting teamies, there was things that I wish I would have done with them. So as I've, gotten new teamies, I try to implement new things. Since the last retreat, I've really wanted to focus on not just hostess coaching, but new teamie coaching. So I really made it a point to, within the first day or two that they joined, to have a phone conversation with them, get to know them, let them hear my voice, hear theirs, get to know them a little better personally, especially if I've never, been friends with them. But build that bond between them and let them know that, it's not about you, it is about them, and that you're there to help them. But building that connection, I think for me is the most important when getting a new teammate.
Love that. Anyone else?
I'll jump in. With my very first recruit, we did a launch party for her, and I think that was a great way to kind of show her how capable she was. And let me tell you, she was so interactive in there, and I just knew from the moment that she started interacting with her guests and saying, hey, you'd really like this, and tagging people, that she was going to do great. But with my newer teamie, she wasn't as willing to start by doing a launch party. She wanted to do it a different way. So her and I had a conversation, and I asked her, what do you want to get out of your business? What's important to you when it comes to your business? And when she shared with me that, she wants to kind of start slow and kind of get initiated into things, I told her to make a list of 10 questions for me about anything. And I went through and answered all of her questions. So I think the approach for me is just going to vary based on my new recruit and what they want out of their business.
Yep, I think that's smart. Anyone else? No? Okay. Let's just close. Well, first of all, if anyone has a question about recruiting, this would be a good time to drop it in the chat. They may or may not answer it, but let's drop it in the chat if you have a question, or somewhere you feel like you're stuck or whatever. If you could give one piece of advice to someone who, isn't growing a team yet or is struggling with recruiting, what would it be?
That you don't get to choose who needs this business and who doesn't. You need to ask. So one of my team members that's here right now, we flipped her party, but she had already been a consultant, and she actually came over tonight for some training, and she was telling me that the $200 check she's going to get next month is going to allow her an oil change. Guys, you don't get to decide that they may or may not need this. Ask. You never know what this means to somebody. So my advice is that you don't get to choose that, and you ask.
Yeah. My sweet friend Sarah Speechley says, it's up to you to ask, it's up to them to decide. Yeah, very true. Yep. Anyone else?
Mine would be authentic. What you see from me on social media, what you see from me in my day-to-day, that's me all day long. I'm going to have, the same conversation that I'm going to have with you over the phone, over the computer, over social media, in person. That's what you're going to get from me. And I feel like whenever someone sees that is you, and that's your authentic self, and that is you being real, and that you're genuinely showing that you love this business and the things that it has brought to you and your family and the life that you're able to have because of this business, I think that, speaks volumes for things, and the trust that they would have in you to, be their sponsor.
Yeah. Anyone else?
So I'm going to say two quick things. One is, just like I said in the beginning, it's not about you, it's about them. So every time somebody joins and they're like, well, I just want to help you. And I'm like, well, no, like you helping me is you taking this opportunity and allowing me to be part of your journey and help you through this. But the other part is, if they say no, don't take it personally. It's just like, the waiter or the McDonald's drive-through with them asking you if you want to add on, and you say no, they don't take it personally either. But It is your job to ask.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
I'll hop in. And just like it's the go for the no. So you don't know, it's up to them. It's up to us to present it to them. It's up to them whether they're going to say yes or no. But presenting it to them in a way they're going to benefit and it's going to help them versus how it's going to help me. Because I was going to touch on what Karen was saying just a minute ago. My one that just signed on in July after being a fabulous customer for 6 years, her main reason for why she never did want to sign up was because she didn't want to take anything away from me. And I tried to explain to her how her being part of my group was going to benefit her mainly, but it will also benefit, but not worry about me. So I think that the way that it's presented to somebody when you're recruiting has a lot to do with what the outcome will be.
Absolutely. Anyone else want to share a tip or suggestion? No?
I'll
Okay.
go.
Go ahead.
I'll go. It kind of goes back to the being authentic, but be willing to share. Be willing to. I just recently started posting the pictures that we take in these meetings and telling everyone how grateful I am for everybody that I've met through this. Be willing to share what you do, not just the product, not just how much you believe in the product, but share the community. Show them why you do this besides enjoying the product. Show them the people that you get to meet and the things that you get to do, because I think that that has been the biggest draw for my newer recruits.
Very, very true. And that does go back to the everyone doesn't join for money. We always have people that join for our community. 100%. As I'm trying to get the picture of just you guys on my phone right now. So we will do a group picture at the end. So don't
I
hang up.
totally have a picture of them, but they weren't smiling.
That's okay. They weren't smiling at mine too, because I don't think they realized.
So I want to answer Mary's question. So for me, it's
Wait, will you read Mary's question? Because
Oh, okay.
if they're on the recording,
So-
they won't hear it.
Mary asked, how long do you wait before going back to your nose to ask again? It depends on the last conversation. If it was a not right now, well, then the next time they order, then, I'm going to ask again. I actually had a girl that I talked to the other day, and she admitted, she's like, I think I'm holding myself back. So I kind of gave her some Noemi tough love, as like sweet as I could. And I made sure to tell her it comes from the place of love and care. But it's just, you got to feel those conversations. But the no's, if it's like a no, don't ever ask me again, well then cool, I got you. But if they're ordering again, ask them again. They're obviously coming back and it could have changed.
All right. I agree completely. Let's see. What other questions? I'm gonna stop the recording and then we'll answer any other questions. So give me 1 sec.